Hey, what's up, family? Yep, I'm right back with another one. So check this out. A while ago, probably maybe a couple years ago, even after coming into certain knowledge and being where I am, for those that think this happened overnight, it most definitely didn't. People don't give up their livelihood and change overnight. Well, I mean, some people do, but I didn't do that. I did research. But anyway, the whole Jesus is fake thing. Let me put out a little bit of what I understand about it. When you see scholars talking, historical scholars or historians, and theological folks, even talking about the historicity of this individual we now call Jesus. Christ. Some understand that Christ is just a title, it's really not part of his name. All right, they will differentiate between two different Jesuses. The Jesus that Christians know being the Jesus that was born of a virgin, walked on water, and performed the different miracles, bread from bread, fish from fish, the miraculous stuff. That's one Jesus in the mix here. And historians, even theological historians, will admit something, not all but some, that Jesus did not exist. The one that the billions and millions of Christians are saying is the Christ, the one that you think, turn water into wine, that Jesus, that image, that profile, that a person that actually walked and did those things, that did not exist. This is admitted in scholarship. However, was there a individual, a real person that did miracles, but a real person that perhaps had some teaching that was against the Jews of that day or against the Roman government of that day? Who knows? There were many people that fit that description. Many teachers during the first centuries before and after, that went against the things that were going down. They were looking for a quote-unquote savior from the Roman government. There were many of those type people. By the way, most of us know now that his name would not have been Jesus, pronounced as such. We know that J didn't get here to about 400 years ago, 400 or 500 years ago. And if you actually do the research on that, it'll take you a while, but you'll find that out when that started to change. And one of the biggest clues, just go get you an original PDF copy of your KJV 1611, and you won't find the names in there spelled with a J. And there's a reason for that. I'm not going to go into that here on this video. But yeah, they differentiate between the two. So when people are saying Jesus is fake, and they may mean both ways, but the way that most Christians believe, that individual that walked on water, that individual that you believe turned water into wine and got up from the grave and all, didn't exist. The reason you can say it didn't exist because those things did not happen. It'd be no different than creating a false image around, let's say, a Klan leader or something, like a Robert E. Lee, saying that, yeah, they fought for the rights of colored people in America and did all this, and you'd be saying, that I don't know, that Robert E. Lee, that don't exist. Or saying that there was a Malcolm X that supported, white supremacy, and he was all about the advancement of white people and everything. Well, you'd say, well, that Malcolm X never existed because you made him up. That's why you made him up. But did Malcolm X really exist? Yes. Did Robert E. Lee, did he really exist? Yes. And when you deal with the facts of who they were, that's just it. That's who they were. So most Christians, you haven't done any research to know that there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of teachers. One of the clues is in the book of Acts. Can't recall the chapter at the moment, where I think they're doing things to the Christian movement. And I want to say it was Gamaliel. It may have not have been, but he was saying, you know, that there was this person that rose up and this person that rose up, and if there's nothing to this whole movement here, then nothing will become of it. So don't worry about it. But the clue there is that there were many people, many teachers of that day, and that name Yeshua was a very common name, just like the name Mary. So was there a Yahshua? Yes. Were there 100 Yahshuas? More like probably. Were there maybe 200-300 Yahshuas walking around? Yeah. Were a few of these teachers? Yes. Look at the works of Josephus. He had a friend whose name closely mirrors it. There's some evidence for Josephus actually writing himself into a story, or somebody writing him into a story as Joseph of Arimathea. You have to be willing to question, okay? You have to. And that's part of the problem. Most of you all, there's such fear that is perpetuated throughout these religions, so much fear that you can't even form the question, which in my view is a mental disability. When I say mental disability, I mean in order for your mind to be 100% being able to work, you should be able to form the question. If a thing is true, it's not going to matter how much or what you test it against. It will hold. It will be proven. And this whole thing that we deal with about a Jesus that walked on water and did all of these things, you can believe that if you want to about somebody, but it never happened. You can believe that MC Hammer, when he did the Too Legit to Quit video, was dancing on top of the audience, you know, as he walked out. You see it, you know, it's seen there in the video. One of my favorite videos from back in the day. Did MC Hammer actually dance on top of the people like Jesus walked on? No, he didn't. It's magic. It was imagined. It was something else. Could MC Hammer actually dance? Yes, the brother could kill it, but didn't really happen. So Jesus, on one hand, most deaf. Jesus is fake, bro. But was there a teacher? But here's the thing about there being a teacher and you proving that there was a teacher back in the day that had these teachings and these teachings right here. Here's the thing about you trying to prove that. Here's the thing. That's not the Jesus that people are giving billions of dollars to in tithe money. That's not the Jesus that people are depending on when they love when it's sick. The one that y'all are depending on is the one that don't exist. All right. Peace, family.